Hello, my name is Jonathan Bustos. My video presentation is based on my research paper that focuses on Margaret and her big eyes. Before diving into the main points of my paper, I want to share some background on the artist my paper focuses on. Margaret Keane is an exceptional artist. She began painting at the young age of 10 and received an art education at the age of 18. Margaret is known for her painting portraits of mostly women, children, and animals with great big eyes. Her portraits rose to popularity in the 60s, but unfortunately they were not under her name, but rather her husband's, Walter King. After years of not having ownership for her work, she sued Walter for defamation and won. After that, she finally received recognition and admiration she deserved. Margaret went on to become a successful painter. My paper's thesis states Margaret King's story is important to the art world in relations to the struggle that female artists face because of how she was able to reclaim her portraits and reflect her deep emotions into her work even when she was left feeling hopeless. The big eye waves were Margaret's signature portrait style. Picture on the left is one of Margaret's main paintings that this one is called Beachhead, which she created in 1963. This painting includes the image of a boy and a dog that are both sporting Margaret's signature big eyes. Margaret called her figures with big eyes waves. Waves are defined as a stray person, usually a child or a stray animal. They are also described as those who are uncared for or abandoned. These waves with big eyes were inspired by Margaret's childhood. At a young age, she became ill and lost her hearing for a while. The eyes of others then became symbolic to her because she felt as though the emotions being emitted to her eyes were speaking to her. The eyes became her way of understanding people, and later in life, the eyes' deep and sad emotions became a reflection of how she felt under the manipulation of Walter. Here we have a photograph of Walter and Margaret in 1965. This was taken during the time that he was taking credit for her work. He opened galleries and was known by many. He was receiving all the praise that she deserved. Walter was able to get away with this fraud by preying on Margaret's need for financial stability. He convinced her that as long as her paintings were being sold, it did not matter who was getting credit for them. In this way, Margaret was silenced and pushed aside like many other female artists who have not have the same advantages as male artists. As a female artist, she would struggle obtaining recognition that comes easier to male artists. On the left is Margaret's painting, The First Grail, which she painted in 1963. It featured her signature big eyes accompanied by tears. This focus on a child in a dark alley. The colors are cool and depressing. Let's keep in mind that this was during the time that Walter was taking credit for her work. On the right is her painting called City Girl, which she created in 1992. This painting is a stark contrast from the other with its vibrant colors and open city view. The girl in this portrait also has the signature big eyes, but her expression is happier than the last child. This painting was created years after Margaret received ownership of her paintings. These two paintings are a demonstration of Margaret's development of not only her work but her own emotions. The first revealing her depression and hopelessness, and the second demonstrating her peace. Tomorrow Forever, painted in 1963, is another creation of Margaret's under Walter's manipulation. This painting is significant because it was one of the paintings that Walter had Margaret specifically create. Not only was he taking credit, he would try and control what she painted. He had her painted because the World Fair was going to have it displayed, but they backed out in the end. For Walter, he needed this painting for his pride, but for Margaret, it represented something different. Tomorrow Forever includes about 100 children with sad big eyes, which Miss Margaret explains that those sad children were really my own deep feelings that I couldn't express in any other way. Their eyes were searching, asking why. Why is there so much sadness? Why do we have to get sick and die? Why do people shoot each other? These children were her pain on display. The good thing was that she was able to overcome her biggest obstacle as an artist and was given ownership of her work after going to court. Margaret was finally set free, and her paintings reflected her newfound happiness after the events. She then went on to open an art gallery in San Francisco and inspired many artists around the world. Margaret had encouraged many artists to display their true, authentic selves in their art. Her story is significant to the art world because it reflects on how women artists have to face many challenges before they are given their space to deserve.